Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be demonstrating one of the new features that was added to the game pretty recently, which is the new equipment system for the, a way to say it. It's how equipment is, not shared between parties, but more importantly, I'm going to be demonstrating how to use the favorite build feature that was added in a recent patch. So if you already know how this new feature works, this video is not really for you. It's going to be just information you're already aware of. But for those of you that don't know how the new equipment build feature works, I'm going to explain it and try to demonstrate because it is incredible. I love this feature. I've been using it on the JP server for a while, and it is just such a big time-saving convenience for units you use pretty often. So as you probably know, in the recent patch, they made it to where equipment is no longer shared between parties. So like any equipment this party is using, this party would not, it doesn't influence them. Like, if I equip something to like Luna Freya here, I can equip that same gear to like Melia in this party, and it's not shared. But one of the other things that this did, is when you take units out of a party, they are automatically unequipped. And then when you put them back in later, you've got to rebuild your team. And for units that you use pretty often, this can be tedious. But the equipment saving feature will gets around this. You can set builds of equipment per unit. And let me go ahead and demonstrate. It's probably easier just to show it in action than I'm trying to explain. Like, for example, like here is like Balthier. If I, for example, give Balthier some gear, like we'll just stick something on him just, to show you from example. Like you start gearing him and, whatever. And then if you take him out of the party, he is automatically completely unequipped. So when you put him back in again, he is naked. So for a unit like you want to use pretty often, this can be tedious, especially in like Dark Visions, when you go to build, a new party and you maybe use the same unit over and over and over. You've got to re-gear them every single time. Well, you can set favorite builds per unit and it's saved permanently. For example, I use Sephiroth for a lot of stuff, so I built him a custom gear loadout. So every time I put Sephiroth in a party, if I can find him, there he is. Every time I put him in a party, he is automatically geared with the build I saved to him. That's just permanent on him. When I put him in a party in Dark Visions, Arena, he automatically comes into the party with the pre-built gear I've saved on him. So this is like the example build I gave for him. He's always using Auto Amplify and Auto Bravery in the base form, and then Shift form is just built for his generic LB damage build, like his his special katana, his STMR, some attack power items, his chain cap, his Master of Fate, and his own vision card. He is always pre-built this way when I put him in a party, with this set as favorite button down here. Let me go ahead and turn on the mouse real quick so I can actually point things out on screen. There we go. So if you look where the mouse is pointing right here, this set as favorite button allows you to do a favorite build for unit. So let me go ahead and take him out. Let's go ahead and put Balthier back in the party. So let's say Balthier is just one of your favorite units. You're a weirdo, but if he is, for example, you could build him with a custom gear set. So I'll go ahead and show just some examples. Like, let's say you want to give him double. This is not a real build. This is just for example, a double build. You want to make him a dual wield build with Genji gloves and whatever, Dark Masamune, and you just a really whatever build. Anyway, you hit this set as favorite button. Favorite equipment, it kind of showed quickly. It says something about how favorite equipment has been saved. So now that's his favorited build. So every time you put this unit in a party, he is going to come into the party automatically equipped with that favorite build. So we took him out of the party, he's still wearing his favorite build. Now, let's say, for a different fight, you adjusted his build, you wanted to go with this build for for some other reason. Like you want to go with a double hand build, whatever. He comes that way, but when you take him out of the party and then put him back in, he's always going to come in with that favorited build you saved on him. And you can adjust it as desired as well. So he's back to the favorite build. And you can, all it takes is a single click to save it and adjust it. So, so let's say that's his new build. Boom, we save it. We overwritten his favorite build. And there you go. So now when you put these units into parties with the favorited build, they will always have that gear loaded out. Now, of course, if you're saving items you don't have multiple copies of and it conflicts, like I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's put Sephiroth back in the party. So Sephiroth came into the party with his favorited build, which is, you know, this stuff. And let's go ahead and put Tifa in the party as well. I built Tifa with a favorite build as well. Let's put her in a party. It's going to show you that you don't have enough copies to gear both of them. Here we go. Because I only own one copy of the Helm of Wilm, one copy of GF Extension, and one copy of Sephiroth's card, it's showing that you can't equip both of them. So Sephiroth is still using some of that stuff. It doesn't steal from the current unit. He's still using the card, the helm, and the GF extension that I didn't have multiple copies. But Tifa came into the party using everything she could. Now, normally her build has the Celestite helm, the GF extension, and the card. It couldn't equip those to her because someone in the party was already using the favorited gear. But all the rest of the slots, it gave her her favorite build. So I'll go ahead and take Sephiroth out of the party, just, you know, for example, so you can show you. It only updates it when you put them into the party for the first time. So with no one now using her gear, we'll put Tifa back in the party, and you'll see that it loaded her entire saved gear setup. So there we go. She's now using the Vision card, and she's using the just, you know, generic LB damage build that I set for her as a favorite. And it's not just Neovision units. Like, I also set a favorite, for example, a unit I use pretty often, which is Shira. You know, and anytime I put Shira in a party, it's for one reason, because he's coming in here to entrust someone on turn 1. So he has a just generic saved entrust build with Call of the Wild, the Brush, 10 auto limit, and I gave him some generic stuff that he may or may not need, like status immunity, auto mirage, guts. You know, just, you know, if I'm putting Shira on a party, all he's really here for is Dragon's Brush and Call of the Wild. But the rest of the stuff is just convenience. You know, maybe one day I'm putting him onto a fight like to kill Intanger on turn 1, and Intanger ambushes with a meteor. You know, Guts would let Shira survive this. It's just a convenience thing, and there's no reason not to save that. So that's how these build saving feature works. You can do it for, you know, as many units as you want. Just, you know, each individual unit has a gear slot that you can, or a build you can save as desired. And then you can also, you know, unequip units and set as favorites. And again, there we go. You can, like, delete the saved build if you want to. And you don't even have to put them in a party. If you're, for example, viewing units not in a party, any gear you equip to them is a favorited gear. Like, for example, let's say Jessie. Now, she's not in a party. If you look right here on the left side where I'm pointing with the mouse, the favorited equipment, you can build their favorites while they're not in a party. So Jessie's favorited build would be something like, let's go ahead and, like, full evasion with her TMR, her STMR, etc. So there she's like full evasion. God, she's overboard in evasion. Well, whatever. Anyway, this gear is automatically saved as her favorite. You see how the set as favorite is grayed out? It's not. It's every single gear change you do while viewing a unit outside of a party and put it on them, it automatically saves. So that is just her favorite build now. So let's go ahead and put Jessie in a party, and you'll see that she is now using all the stuff that I just gave her as a favorite unit slot. So, you know, I don't have to look for her. Jessie, there we go. So the stuff that I put in her, that's her favorited build. She will always be wearing that gear on every party. Now, I don't actually want her to have that favorite build. We're going to go ahead and delete that favorite build for later. So yeah, there's how to use favorited builds. So I recommend what you should do is you should go through and, you know, your top 15, top 20 favorite Neovisions units, or even 7-star units you do. Go through them and view. Well, actually, it's better to do it the view way. So go to, like, view, and you can filter it. Well, I think I was already on view. Filter it by your favorites, and just go through, and you can literally just, like, do it this way and just scroll and gear them as desired. Like, here's Terra. Terra's a unit I use pretty often, so here is Terra's favorited build for me. This is the generic build. When I put her in a party, she's always going to be using her best in slot gear, and her stats look low because she's not on an Esper. On an Esper, she gets she gets a lot of Esper. Like for example, I'll go ahead and put her on an Esper just to show what I'm talking about. Doop and Neo favorite a tiny lighter vote. There we go. So she comes in, her stats are much better on an Esper. There we go. So this is her build while equipped to an Esper. And then the skin feature. You can, of course, make her the Magitech Warrior Terror. But nah, I actually do like her regular Terror build. But anyway, yeah. So go through and you can just use the View feature and set some favorite builds for all your favorite units that you use pretty often. Like Yigni, I went ahead and built Yigni a generic build, and these builds can be adjusted once you put them in a party. So if I stick Yigni in a party, and then I want to give him more killers, I can just swap these out. And as long as you don't hit the set as favorite button while they're in a party, it will not override their favorite build. So yeah, you can just go through and you can gear literally every single unit you want in the game, and it would save them. I actually don't want Balthier with this goofy build, so there we go. That his favorite build has been deleted. Elena is someone I use. Like Elena, I started to do her, I just didn't finish it. Starlight, Lightning, Awakened Dragon. Yep. So yeah, you see, I've actually gone through a few of the units and geared them up. Well, not a ton, because this feature just came out this week, and I haven't gotten around to gearing every single unit. But if you do like one unit a day, then over time. I actually didn't do. Oh, I did. Why did I do Saul? I don't even know why I did Saul. I was just playing around with it. But yeah, you can go through and just gear up your favorite units. And as you can see, I have not geared that many with a favorite build yet. I've geared barely anyone. Wow. Look at this. I keep going till I get to someone that I've geared. There we go. I geared Amelia. Okay, so you can see, and. There you go. And a way, if you want to view all these favorited builds you've done before, you can go to the View, clear the filters, and then turn on the Equipment Yes filter. That'll show you all the build. Okay, so actually, these are the builds I've built for units. Like, for example, Realm, I built her a default build with high HP and auto healing. That's a classic build for Realm. I built one for Zahn. When I stick him in a Dark Visions party, he's passive provoke evasion, full status immune, super ribbon. Because like if I'm using Zahn in Dark Visions these days, it's probably as my provoker, so he's gonna come into the Dark Visions already geared for passive provoke, status immunity, full evasion, immunity to everything, and there we go. So you can just build, favorite builds. Like Zidane is my farming build, so he's got Mark of the Raven and this stuff, Luck Junction, Auto Bravery, Yeti Combat Style for his normal attack hitting twice, and then most of the time I'll go ahead and stick an Avenger that I have favorited. That's something else I should probably show is how to favorite gear. So it's all, you see how these three at the top locked? You can put gear as favorite as well. So no matter what kind of filter you've got going on, like filter spirit, the gear you have favorited is always at the top. For the most part, I've only favorited passive provoke gear and things like Avenger that I just stick on for like farming. But like passive provoke, like I've got the Amestrian uniform, the producer's jacket favorited. For accessories, I've got the Moogle charm favorited. But let me go ahead and show you how to set up favorited items real quick as well. So on equipment, here's all my favorites. As you can see, all the passive provoke stuff is favorited. It also works for materias. You can favorite materias, so they are always at the top. Let me turn off my filters. There we go. Again, passive provoke, Jewel of Strength, So Cute as Criminal, Eva Junction, and Dave. Those are all my passive provoke stuff that's favorited. Anyway, to favorite something, you would go to just do it with items. It works the same way for materias. So pick an item you want to favorite. Like, let's go ahead and favorite True Purple Lightning. So you view the item, and if you watch the mouse, while you're viewing the item, you will single click on the item's icon. So click right here, and boom. You see how it favorites at the top? So now True Purple Lightning, whoops, will always show at the top when you're going to gear someone. So if we're going to gear someone that can equip katanas, which would be, who can equip katanas? I think she can. Yeah, so if you're going to gear someone, you'll notice the favorited gear is always at the top. So you see the TMR, And then the True Lightning is favorited at the top, along with my other favorited gear like Avenger, Crimson Butterfly, and Durandal for the Provoke. And then you can, and to unfavorite it, same way. You just click the icon and it's unfavorited, and now it is no longer filtered at the top. Well, you gotta refresh the page, and it's no longer filtered at the top. So if you have like gear that you use really often, like passive provoke gear, you can favorite it so it always shows at the top. And when you're going to gear someone for passive provoke, you can do it super easy like this, like passive provoke, and passive provoke, boom. And in 3 seconds, I've geared Elena for full passive provoke. And then I can also gear her for high evasion with the Crimson Butterfly, like that. There we go. So I think she's now full evasion, full passive provoke, etc. It's just, you know, those are the kind of things that you use really often, so it's good to favorite them. Anyway, I'm kind of like talking in circles at this point. I've covered what I wanted to cover. So there is how to use the favorite equipment setup. Enjoy!